Let's go. All right, let's get it. What's up? This is Liberation Minded Media. I do not have that much time today, but I had to share this story, man. This is it's crazy what we're seeing right now. And when you see the story, look, your first instinct is probably going to be upset about it. I know it's Saturday. Y'all probably out drinking, doing this and that. Look, I'm not. All I do now is just grind for the most part. But I gotta bring you some of this perspective, some of this narrative, because it is extremely important, more than ever. And when I bring you the story, you're gonna see exactly how important it is for us to continue to remain on code, keep pushing the issues, keep pushing the line, keep the support, keep, moving the way we've been moving, and just turn it up. Because at this point, they're letting us know that they feel some kind of way. Look, imagine a world where the dominant society, those who've had everything given to them. Let me chill out for a minute. Are actually threatened, intimidated by a grassroots movement. Think about this. What we have been doing in regards to pushing this reparations movement on the grassroots level for the past several years has got political attention, and I'm gonna show you that. I've showed you this before. It's getting mainstream attention. It's getting worldwide attention. Say what you want about that Baltimore situation that happened this weekend, but the bottom line is this: no matter what, the fugazi behind it, we already know. Right? I shared that Tariq Nasheed video about it. So we know there's fugazi behind it, but just think about it like this. You got CARICOM, the African Union, politicians, quote unquote, mainstream talking heads that all convened in Baltimore to discuss reparations. You got Dr. Phil, Afro Elite's channel. Check out Afro Elite's channel. He broke down that Dr. Phil interview very well. You got to check that out. So Dr. Phil's bringing people on speaking about reparations. Of course, they're bringing opposition to the discussion. But look at the big picture, because it ain't really about how they want to derail it. It's about the fact that what we're doing is having enough success and enough momentum that they feel that they have to troll. Now let's go to Twitter real quick. Check this out. Oops. How do I get that up there? Let's go to Twitter. Let's go to my page. We're not even gonna troll right now. Hold up. Let's just do it like this. I could have swore. There we go. So check this out. Let's get to this. Let's get to this, man. This is crazy. I don't have too much time, y'all. I gotta run through this, but you gotta see this. So this is Ohio Senate candidate Bernie Moreno. Sounds like a white Spanish name, right? Because remember, Spain is in Europe. Floats reparations for white descendants of Northern Civil War soldiers. Northern Civil War soldiers. So remember, the Southern Civil War soldiers or plantation owners, they already got reparations after the war because they lost all their slaves. So reparations has actually already been paid to the Southerners who were plantation owners. Now this dude, and of course this is more like a dog whistle. He's just basically, he's trolling. This is what it's come to for these cats. He's really just doing this for political edge. He's just really doing this to identify, to signal boost, or to let people know how he identifies. Basically, he's just showing contempt for us because he knows there's a base for that. There's a support mechanism in place, especially in the Republican Party, for that. It's not like he really thinks this is gonna go. But this is what he's saying. He's floating this idea. Bernie Moreno, a Republican looking to challenge U.S. Senate Sharon Brown, suggested that white descendants of Northern Civil War soldiers should be eligible for some form of compensation. We stand on the shoulders of giants. This is like him at a speech, don't we? We stand on shoulders of people like John Adams, slave owner, James Madison, slave owner, Alexander Hamilton, slave owner, George Washington, slave owner. That this group of people took on the largest empire in history. They said, no, we will not stand for this, and won. Talking about the Revolutionary War against England. So that's what he told supporters at a campaign event in the Buckeye State this week. That same group of people later, white people, died to free black people. Now, of course, it wasn't those people because those people were all dead when that happened. But he's talking about the Civil War. It has never happened in human history before, but it happened here in America. So he's trolling. I'm not even mad because I'm so amused by it. I'm amused. Not just at the audacity of it. What's amusing about it is this is something, he's doing this as a response. If you don't think that they pay attention to what we do on the grassroots, here's your proof. They are tapped into what we're doing on the grassroots. Remember, this reparation wasn't a conversation until we made it a conversation. So now his response is, hey, he's taking shots at us. He's trolling us right now. They want us to get upset about this, but I ain't mad. You know why? Because if he feels like he has to make these type of talking points, remember this is the dominant society here, threatened by the idea that we would get reparations. Why? Have you ever asked yourself that? Have you really just asked yourself, why are they threatened by this? Why is there such a movement against us getting reparations? To the point that where politicians are getting in on this. Major talking heads that are white, that are coonish blacks, and tethers internationally are getting in on this, hating and trying to undermine this movement. Why? I'm gonna tell you why. It's for the same reason why they are threatened by the idea that we're now starting to get police convicted and locked up for killing us. You see, for these white supremacists, the idea that now we can get them punished for harming us changes the whole dynamic of what this country is supposed to be about to them. That's a blow to their ego. That's a blow to their white privilege. That's a blow to the status quo. It means things are changing because for the whole time this has been an established country, they were able to do whatever they wanted to us. Two things they could always count on. One, that they can harm us without any type of consequences, and that they would always have an upper hand when it came to wealth and power. See, the reparations movement threatens that. Not just for the obvious reasons that you're thinking that, yeah, okay, we're going to get this money, we're going to ball out. We're going to start building businesses. We're going to start building and rebuilding our communities, building new communities. Not to mention the fact that we already have like 20 black towns right now. Over half of them in Oklahoma. That's a whole different conversation. I've been saying this on Black I Stand Radio. I've been saying this on my old YouTube channel. I've been saying this on Facebook for years. So imagine Black Wall Streets and black towns revitalized and popping up, communities popping up, businesses and industries popping up. The ability to really take our media apparatus to the next level. See, that's one thing. The ability to now be able to pass down generational wealth, build industry. See, that's one thing. Making that wealth gap shrink. Now the median income of black people, the median wealth of black people being equal to or greater than the average white person, that is a threat to them, because what are they in it for if they can't say that they are better than us? What good is America to them if now they could be punished for harming us and we have an actual greater wealth collectively and individually on the average than them? Also, and here's the one that a lot of people ain't really thinking about, but also, what runs this country as far as law, politics, corporations, the bag, wealthy people? That's how laws are made. That's how laws enforced. That's how policies are constructed. So now when we flip that dynamic, and now we have thriving industries and commerce and the ability to buy politicians, prop up our own politicians and run them. Yeah. The power dynamic changes. Oh, now we can slowly siege and take over the court systems, the policies of the nation, the politicians. Oh, that's a scary thought. Because what if we have intentions to seek revenge in any kind of way? What if we start playing the games that they play with them because now we have the upper hand? I mean, it's enough even if we just make things equal. That's a threat to them. Like, let's not forget, during the Great Depression, we had dozens of black towns that were still thriving and wealthy during that time. See, they have to undermine. So this is just a troll. Let's continue with this article though. Like I said, I really don't have that much time, so I want to just run through this real quick. So they make it sound like America is racist. Now keep in mind, this is coming from a dude named Moreno, who was some type of descendant, I'm assuming, of part Jewish, or probably Jewish, Spaniards. So a lot of times when we hear the word Spanish, we think brown people. No, Spaniards are white people. Think conquistadors. We associate Spanish with brown because we think Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Dominican, et cetera, et cetera. But in reality, those people were conquered by Spaniards, the conquistadors. Who, the same way they did to us, after conquering, gave their name, their religion, their language. And a lot of the people that came from Spain, even before that, were from what some people call they were of Jewish belief, heritage, religion. But anyway, so they make it sound like America is a racist, broken country. You name a country that did that freed slaves, died to do that. So he's basically trying to still keep that narrative. Now listen, I want to make something clear real quick. When they say these things, they know the fucking truth. They know that they did not free any damn slaves, that the slaves freed themselves. They know that. He just brought up the Civil War, so he has to know that. They know the North was getting murked in that war until we entered. It doesn't matter, because he has to control the narrative, and he's really just trying to make these talking points that he know is going to be good to generate support from ignorant white folks that are uneducated, who may not know the real history. They may or they may not. But what has always been a long holding strategy of theirs. And I believe it was President Lyndon Johnson who said this first, or the first time I'm aware of it being said, was that if you make poor white people feel like they're better than someone, you can take their money without them noticing. In other words, you have to keep that divide going. You have to keep poor white people thinking, hey, it doesn't matter if you're poor white trash, because we don't really like you, but you're better than those Negroes. You're better than those Mexicans. So that's really the base that he's really appealing to right there. You know, they talk about reparations. Look at this. You know, they talk about reparations. Where are the reparations? Where are the reparations for people in the North who decided to save lives of black people? Look at this. I would be disgusted if I wasn't so amused at the fact that they have to go to the point of trolling. You know what this is like to me? This is going to sound strange, right? But I really want you to think about this on a deeper level than just emotional knee-jerk response. To me, this is like if you've ever been like social media and you're going back and forth with one of these alt-right racist dudes, and you're just killing them with points, and then they have to resort to racial slurs and insults. That means they lost. That's a beautiful thing. You know why? Think about this. I don't think anyone that will watch this channel will doubt that Bill Clinton is racist and probably doesn't like black people too much. I don't think anybody who watches this channel is going to doubt that George Bush probably doesn't like black people. But you've never heard them use the N-word. Why? Because they actually have power. So they could just have a stroke of a pen and write laws and policies, which they did, to harm us. They don't have to resort to the hyperbolic name calling, the rah-rah. That's what the poor white folks have to do because they have nothing else. So that being the case, this is more entertainment for me. This is more amusing. This is more just confirmation that what we're doing is actually having an impact and they are threatened by it. Because they know eventually those reparations they're gonna have to cut that check. And even for those who resist it or those who don't feel like we'll ever get that, here's the thing. Whenever the answer is going to be, we need to know it now. If they're going to say no to the reparations, we want them to say it right now. We can't kick this down the line, down the road another 50, 100 years. We need that answer now. Then we could properly respond to that answer. But this is how they feel right now. This is how desperate they're getting. This is how much they are threatened by the idea that they know that this momentum is growing and we're staying focused on it. This is why they have to send these coons at us, these tethers at us. They have to use these butt dancing, foot shuffling Negroes. Oh, we don't need no reparation. We just need some education. Oh, you guys, none of you guys were slaves. Oh, they have to use these tactics. They have nothing else. That's why we have to stay focused. And that's why we have to remain solid on the grassroots and pushing our agenda. Let's keep going. So here's him, right? This lets you just know who he's clicked in with. And I don't really care about what side a politician's with. It's really all about, what their agenda is. So his agenda is he wants to get reparations for Northern Civil War descendants, which is weird. But he's saying it's because they fought the free. So ironically, he's not saying, hey, what about the descendants of the black that were either freed slaves, descendants of slaves who fought in that Northern War, or even the Southern slaves? No, he's saying, no, we need to give it to the Northerners. This, like I said, it's a troll. But really, this is going to backfire, because if he can justify this, see, this is some fuel that we can use, because if he can justify even saying this, even floating this idea, you're only validating our movement that much more. So Moreno, a business owner, is the second GOP candidate to jump into the race and faces a primary from Ohio State Senator Matt Dolan. The 2024 Ohio Senate race is a top target. Now, this is the Ohio Senate race. Remember, this is Ohio. I don't even think there was Ohio was a state during the Civil War. Remember, Ohio was up north, right? This is where they were supposed to be like all about abolition and shit. But this is letting you know it don't even matter. This is how they feel. And right now they feel threatened. So that means what we're doing is obviously being effective, and we have to continue to push that line. Though Ohio has a long history as a battleground, speaking like politically, it has trended red in recent years. Ooh, we're not even getting to that. But anyway, I just wanted to bring this up, you guys, because this is crazy. This is from the New York Post. I'm pretty sure somebody else is going to be covering this. If you have a platform, cover this. Make sure you comment on this. I'm really about to get up out of here, shake the spot. I just wanted to show you this. This is crazy. This just shows just how threatened they are and how effective. Think about this. 5 years ago, there wasn't really no talk about reparations like this. Now they're holding hearings for it. They're talking about it on mainstream talk shows. Politicians have to bring it up. They are tapped in. They are listening to what we're doing on the grassroots. That's why they're bringing these clones, these bots, they're hand-picked Negroes to have these conversations. The Mark Lamont Hills, and et cetera, so that they can water it down. Yo, B1 family, stay strong on the issue. Make sure you support the real. Like this channel, subscribe if you ain't already, comment, stay on code, and just know that we're obviously being effective and are threatening. They feel threatened because now they've had to demean themselves by trolling. Be one.